I want to start a new project. Do I have other whips I should be working on? Yes. Am I going to do that? No, of course not. Hello, friends. Happy Sunday. Well, Sunday when I'm filming this. And it's currently, I think the last time I checked, it said -5 degrees outside. So we're not gonna leave the house for the next probably 48 to 36 hours. I have been seeing these granny square tops all over Pinterest lately. I've never heard it said out loud, but I believe it's the Avero granny square top or granny squares that look, to me they kind of look like Spanish or like Greek tiles. And when they're done in this blue and white, they're very intricate, and I typically loathe granny squares because it's just the same thing over and over again, except it just takes longer to do with each round, which is not appealing to me. So I figured this looks interesting enough. The color change, the stitch differences, I think will keep me engaged enough. And I did already make one. Here she is. I've already steam blocked this just to make sure I kind of get the idea of how big it's going to be. And I just kind of sketched up a pretty simple top, and I'm off work tomorrow. So we're going to try to finish this top in 2 days. My assistant just bailed on us, but that's all right. Have my project back here. I've already started a second one. And given the color changing and the intricacy, I guess, of these stitches, like you can't really get into a flow zone that much. I mean, you can't, now that I've done it once, I'm noticing the second time I just kind of have to see what we're doing for this round, then I can kind of go with it. But each round I do have to check, so it's taking me quite a bit to finish them. And from my sketches, if I'm correct, of course I didn't measure anything because that's no fun. I just held this up to me and was like, okay, I think I'll need to secure these at the shoulders. I'm going for that kind of like boat neck-ish look. If I need to add some ribbing here to connect them, that's fine. So I think I'm going to do two squares each side, 3 squares deep, right? Because I want it to be pretty full length. I'm kind of over crop tops. I've been wearing my jeans a little bit lower rise lately, and I just want more tops that can support that. So we need 12 total, 6 in the front, 6 in the back, and then I'm going to do some side ribbing. So wish me luck. I'm just going to put on a movie and get to work. I think the first one did take probably like 2 hours. I kept starting and stopping, so I'm not sure exactly. And the video tutorial I used, I will link below. And yeah, we're just gonna crochet and watch some movies and avoid going outside. And hopefully we'll have a cute new top at the end of this. I'm going to Mexico next month, so that's my vision, is to have a nice, cute granny square top to wear in Mexico. So let's get to work.
I touched that 5 for you. I do that 3-4 times again. I testify for you. I told I like you, that bitch. I do it all, and I'm around. You scared to do. I'm not. Long as you joking now in for me, I ain't got it. I've been scheming, doing, hide your bodies. Long as you dreaming about me, ain't no problem. I don't got nobody just with you right now. Tell the truth, I look better under you. I can't lose. How can I lose and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody like you do. I can't. When I'm with you,
want to tell the people how far we got? Nice. Okay. Okay, so it took me about 2 hours to finish this one. So I'm thinking it's probably about 2.5 hours to do each square. So now I just need 10 more, which is about 25 hours. I'm gonna start the second or the third one tonight, and then tomorrow is pretty much all I'm gonna be doing is making Avero granny squares. I hope that's how you say it. Avero. I don't know. Avero granny squares. So yeah, it's about 10 rounds each, and this is the Hobie cotton, Friends cotton 8/6. I checked. Rainbow cotton, Hobie rainbow cotton 8/6 size, and then the Quince fingering weight merino wool. And luckily you kind of keep them connected the whole time, so there's only a couple ends to weave in, and I'm going to leave the white tails long so I can use that to sew them together. And I am going to make sure I'm weaving in my ends as I go. So yeah, I'm going to get in bed and start on the third one, and then tomorrow we'll see how far we can get. Thinking it's probably going to take a couple. I'm hoping tomorrow I can get done at least 4. That's 8. That's 10 hours of crocheting. That's a long time. So at least 4 more tomorrow. That'll give us 6. Wait, how many do I need? 12? Yeah, so that'll be the whole front panel. Will be 6. Right? Yeah. So we need 12 total. We have 2. Hoping to get 4 done tomorrow. Maybe start on the 5th. And then that will put us in pretty good shape to hopefully get this done by next weekend and then seam it all together. I still got to make the ribbing next weekend as well, but I'm thinking that won't take too long. My plan is to cast on the number of stitches for bust level, connect it like midpoint of the bust or wherever. Honestly, probably potentially where the second square ends. No, probably in the middle of the second square, cast on however many stitches I need to make that fit comfortably, and then have it go in a V shape down to the smallest point in my waist. Probably just 1 by 1 ribbing, maybe 2 by 2. Haven't decided yet. And then at the hip level, at the bottom of the top, I'm just gonna make an I-cord tie. So that's the plan, and it seems simple enough, but I didn't realize how long these guys take. It's totally worth it in my opinion, but and I'm hoping I get faster. I think part of the issue with why it's taking so long is I keep having to stop. Hello? I keep having to stop and refer to the video, and then it's not, I mean, it's a great tutorial and it's free, so I can't really complain, but it's not perfect. So I run into some issues the same point now, I'm realizing. So I'm hoping now it'll just get easier and easier the more I do it. But yeah, it's definitely keeping me engaged a lot more than a normal granny square project would, especially with how pretty they are. Like, come on. And every process, every round is just as gorgeous as the last. So yeah, that's the plan, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Are you seeing the vision? Yay! Good morning, guys. It's the next day. Just got out of the shower. Excuse the wet hair. But I wanted to show you how far I got last night on my third square. Also wanted to show how gorgeous this is even before finishing it. Like, I love this shape. I think it is so cute, so reminiscent of those kind of Mediterranean tiles that you see. But anyways, I think this is technically 6 rounds of the 10 rounds. So I have about 4 more to go to finish this one up. And my goal for today is to finish this one and then 3 additional squares, and then we'll have the front bodice piece finished. And I don't think I mentioned what hook I'm using, but I'm using the 3.5mm hook ergonomic handle, of course. So it's a little warped because the cotton and merino obviously have like different stretch, different, what's the word, elasticity, I guess. The merino is much stretchier than the cotton. I also think the cotton's just like a hair thicker than the merino. But otherwise, I think they look pretty good. And like I said yesterday, they block out really, really nicely. So I'm going to get to work. We're going to put on a movie, maybe some YouTube, and finish this one up and get started on our next 3. It is starting to go a little bit faster the more I do these, so I'm hoping we can crank out those 3 today. I'm glad I got as far as I did last night on this 3rd one, and then we'll see what we can do with the other 3. And yeah, it's freezing cold outside, so I have no desire to go anywhere. We have groceries and we have coffee, and that's all I need. It's about 8:45 right now, and we'll see how long it takes to finish these ones.
You're driving in famine, natural disasters. My baby has been around for me. Kingdoms are falling, angels be calling. None of that could ever make me leave. Yeah. Every time I look into your eyes, I see it. You're all I need. Every time I get a business card,
Okay, team, finished our 3rd square. It's currently 10:30, but I think there was probably about 15-20 minutes there where I took a break to get some more coffee and was struggling to find something to watch, but finally landed on The Virgin Suicides, which I've actually never seen before, and it's kind of shocking because it's right up my alley. I'm really liking it so far. So we're about halfway through the movie, and I'm going to get started on the 4th square. I also ran out of my first skein of the Hobie cotton, so they're about 15 or 50 gram squares, and that brought me through about almost the full 3 squares. I ran out like halfway through the last round on the 3rd square, so yeah, we're on our 2nd skein, gonna get started on our 4th square, and we're about 50 minutes left in the movie, so I'm hoping to make it through at least the first 5 rounds by the time the movie's over. That's kind of how I'm going to pace myself, and we'll keep trucking along. Okay, y'all, just finished the movie. It's about 11:25, and I made it through 6 full rounds and started on the 7th of our 4th granny square. So I'm going to take a little break right now, walk Charlie, eat some lunch, and then we'll get back to it. But love the movie. I always love those movies where you can just like know that you're in good hands with the director. And Sofia Coppola is just a great talent of our time, as we all know. But loved the movie, and we're gonna take a little break, brave the cold outside, eat some lunch, and we'll get back to finish this. It's definitely going a lot faster now that I've done a couple. I kind of know the rhythm. So those first 6 rounds only took an hour. So we'll see. There's a little issue I've run into on the 8th round, I believe. And I found a chart on Pinterest that helps me kind of make sense of the video and the chart. And I keep having to remind myself every time I get to that round. So I think I'm going to just write out what I'm seeing in the video and the chart, and then I'll just include that somewhere in the video as well, so you guys can reference that if it's helpful at all. the video and the chart are great. It's just if anyone crochets, things can get a little confusing depending on how people can explain them. So between the two, I can make it out, but it still is slowing me down. So just for my own sake, I'm going to write it out. So might as well just include probably just a screenshot of it, and you can screenshot it as well and use that for your reference if you decide to make this type of granny square, which I love and we'll probably make more of. So yeah, that's the agenda, and I'll check back in after we finish our fourth square. Fourth square is done. Started watching season 7 of Drag Race, and it's about 1:15 on the dot. So, gonna start square 5, and I think we are on great track to finish all 6 today. I'm debating on whether I want to just keep going and start, 7, start the next square once I get to 6, which I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but still, if I want to try to crank more out. So it's looking like I'll be done by like 5, which is still pretty early. I'll have some time. Or if I just want to block them, I'll weave in the ends and start connecting them. But I guess we'll see when we get there, see if I'm sick of this by then. But so far, still having fun, still having a blast. Oh, my little pom-pom fell off. Where did she go? Hopefully you guys can still hear me. But yeah, I'll check in when the next one's done. Yay.
It does kind of roll into itself like this when you're working from it, but it can fold out to be, let's see here, about that. The Lion Brand Lazy Days, whatever that one was called.
Okay. It is currently 6:30. I think the last time I checked in was about 1. And I kind of figured I'd be done at 5. I did take a break just to relax, to walk Charlie, eat some food, all that good stuff. But we have all 6 squares completed. So now I think the game plan is I'm gonna block these guys out. I just steam block them because I'm far too impatient to wet block. Steam block and then weave in all the ends. And then I might start joining them together tonight just to see what we're working with measurement wise. But yeah, I think that's all we're gonna get done today. So today is Monday, 6:30. This took about 2 days to get one side done, and that was like full dedicated work, 2 days. So if I try to aim for a square, at least a square a day, hoping to get done with the back panel by Friday, and then spend Saturday seaming everything together, getting measurements for the ribbing panels, hopefully starting on the ribbing panels, and then yeah, hopefully by next Monday we'll be in pretty decent shape. Hoping to have this done by then. There's no reason to rush aside from I'm going on vacation the second week of February, so I love to wear this on vacation, and I'm really obsessed with how these are looking. I think every round creates like a new interesting shape, and I think these I really want to experiment with not doing all 10 rounds, and with just stopping when they're at that kind of what's the word, irregular shape, I guess, and playing with that. Oh, hello. But yeah, I want to experiment with like not finishing these. Trevor, you want to come here? You want to come hang out? Stop barking. As I was saying, I really want to experiment with not completing all 10 rounds. I think around like row 6 or 7, you get this really pretty diamond shape, almost verging on like a cross, but they're even on all sides, if that makes sense. I guess an X. And I think that would be really pretty joined together on its own, or even as like appliques on other projects. And I also want to experiment with different colors. I love like the classic white and blue is definitely like calling my name, but I think some really interesting and unique color combinations could really modernize this type of square, whereas the normal granny squares, they get a little boring to me. I also, like, I hate to say it, but I think it's not that unpopular of an opinion anymore. I don't necessarily love the look of granny squares, traditional granny squares. I think maybe I'm just sick of seeing them. I mean, they're all over the place, especially as a beginner. That's what you really start with, and that's what you're seeing all the time. And I think this is a nice way to just mix it up, but also pay homage to that foundation skill of crochet. And like I said, I'm going to be writing out this pattern as well, just to include for free, just to help out. It's more of a supplement to the video and the chart, just because I got confused on a couple of the rounds, and I think that would just be helpful in addition to the video and the chart. But yeah, I'm already planning out new colors for this. In my head right now is like purple and green. I think that would be really cool and interesting. And yeah, so tonight I'm going to finish steam blocking these, start weaving in some ends, maybe start joining them. We'll see how far I get in that process. And hopefully have this done by the end of the week. And yeah, I guess I'll check in on the next step, let you know how that's going. And that's all for now. You want to say anything, Charlie? You shouldn't want to say I'm sorry for barking.
She just let me know, but it's sure no fit. It ain't safe round here, but she's still gonna hold on. It ain't safe round here, but she doesn't.
Hey, hi friends. It's been a couple days since I checked in, but this is our progress. And I don't want to hear anything about the fact that I said I was going to start seaming these together and weaving in ends, because that has not happened. But we do have 9 completed squares, and I'm about halfway through the 10th square. So after this is done, so basically we only have 2.5 more squares to go. And in the meantime, I think I mentioned wanting to do this in like more interesting colors than the typical white and blue. So I did order some new colors that are coming. Should be here in the next couple days. But I also swatched up this guy, if you can see. And this is with, both of these are Quince Fingering Weight. Quince & Co. I think that's how you say their name. Fingering Weight Merino. I believe it's superwash. And this is just what I had in stash already. So this is actually the same blue, but like the same colored blue yarn. But I feel like next to the like yellowish greenish color, it looks a lot more vibrant and more blue. And next to the white, it looks a little grayer. But anyways, I think this is stunning. And this is with only 7 rounds, while this is the full 10. So you can see this is kind of what it looks like before you add those 2 more, or 3 more border stitches around the top. I don't think you lose a ton of detail. I think super cute. I might do the 8th round, or I might just do a round of single crochets all in the blue. But I was thinking about, I don't know if it's technically her pattern, but if you guys watch Amazing-ish Grace here on YouTube. Anyways, as I was saying, if you guys follow Amazing-ish Grace here on YouTube or on Instagram, she has that, she did double crochet granny square, 7 granny square tops. So it's just 7 granny squares made of double crochet. I think hers is in black, and maybe she has another color, but I thought about using these, making 7 of them. I thought that would be so cute. I don't know if you guys do this as well, but I need to finish this top first before I start planning out what I'm doing with that. But this greenish yellow color, when it's on its own, it looks a lot more green. Now that it's next to the blue, it looks a lot more yellow. But it was, I believe it's a discontinued color, and I got it when I was visiting my mom in Texas at the local yarn store for half off. So I just bought pretty much what they had. I think I got 4 skeins, and I only used 2 for a beanie that I made. So I have quite a bit left over, and using it as like this middle color really does not use a lot. I'm only just now starting on my second skein of the blue for these guys, and part of why it's so small already, which I don't know if you can tell, but part of what I've used from this came out of here. Like I started this skein to make this swatch and then had run out of my other one. But I have more of that coming as well in my yarn order, but it really doesn't use a lot to use the middle color. The white I've gone through, I'm on my 4th skein, I believe, and those are 50-gram skeins, so almost 200 grams so far of the Hobie cotton. And I imagine to make the last 2.5, that might be enough, but we'll see. So it's Friday night, and I remember myself at the beginning of the week. I was so hopeful, but it's been a hell of a week here in the US, especially in Chicago where I am. So didn't get a whole lot done during this week, but my plan is to finish square 10, try to start square 11 tonight, and then finish 11, 12 in the morning, and then start the process of seaming this all together, and then I can get more accurate measurements for the knit side panels that I want to incorporate. And I think that's the plan. That's the update so far. And yeah, I'll update you probably tomorrow. Okay, team, I think it's been a couple days, maybe even a week since I last talked to you, but we've made some serious progress. Here's how she's looking. She's beautiful. So since I talked to you last, I've joined everything together and added a border of just single crochet and then blue triple crochet, kind of where the squares meet, to help even it out. It didn't super work as great as I wanted to, but alas, here we are. So now that she's all blocked out and put together, hopefully you can still hear me. The issue is, let me see. The issue is now she's like a little bit too big, right? So it's hard to show you. Hold on. Okay. She's a little bit too big. I mean, even with both sides, like this is probably how I want it to fit, because I want it to be tight up here by the bust and even to the waist at the smallest point, and then stay open like this, almost like a split hem. But as I told you at the beginning, I was planning on making like a knit rib panel here, but I think I'm just gonna close them up. The join that I did to join these together is through the front loop or back loop. I think through the back loop, just slip stitched it. So I think I'm just gonna slip stitch, do that from basically bust level, I think, right here to my waist, and then leave that open. And then I don't know if I'm gonna do the ties like I had planned on, but yeah, we'll see. Are you seeing the vision? It looks kind of like an apron right now. I don't know, like it's not. I was thinking about doing some blue detailing in the cross points to continue like that tile look, but I don't know. I think I've just been staring at it for too long at this point. I also want to wear it with like low-waisted pants. So I think that will help like the vision. If you're kind of seeing the vision, I don't know. I'm at the point where I've just been like staring at it for too long and now I think it's ugly. And I'm losing steam, but hopefully once it comes together and I can style it, it'll be cute. We'll see. But yeah, she's all blocked out. I've woven all the ends for this panel. So I just have to do the back panel to get the ends weaved in and then seam it together. But we'll see. Not quite what I had in mind, but I don't know. I think it's a look, it's a vibe. I think I would wear like a spiky slick back bun with some low-rise baggy jeans with it is like the vibe. But we'll see. So I'm gonna try to finish this up today. Nay, I will finish this up today. It's only 8:30 in the morning, so we have plenty of time, but yeah, I don't know if I want to connect it that high or if I connect it just below the bust. If that will be what I'm kind of going for. I don't know. We'll see how I feel when it's done, but yeah, I'll check back in once I've finished weaving in the ends and connected it, and then we'll see how we feel. I thought about doing like a lace up the side, but when you have to pull it that tight anyways, it's like, what's the point of lacing it up? You know, like I like to see the lace. I guess I could just leave it big and like lace it loosely if that would be an option, but I don't know. We'll see what we end up with. I'll check back in probably a few hours. Okay, team. She's done. What do we think? Are we seeing the vision? Honestly, I'm not sure if I am. It's a little different than what I had originally thought, but I think she's cute. I think it works. It's Sunday, the next day, and I did end up weaving in all my ends together, or weaving in all my ends yesterday, and then joining the sides together. But then it took me until this morning to weave in those ends because I was just very much over it. But what do we think? 1 second, I'm like, sheets. And then the next, I'm like, it looks like a bib. But I don't know. I kind of like her. I think I'm definitely just going to like live with her for a little bit before I decide if I want to change anything or, God forbid, frog. But yeah, so a couple things that changed. I decided not to do the ties at the bottom because I just like the split hem as it is, and there's already a lot of visual detail going on. Didn't think we needed the ties. And I did end up just doing the same slip stitch through the front loop on the sides and just did the second square on both sides. And I didn't do any blue in the middle of the tiles yet. I couldn't quite figure out in my head how to work that out. I didn't know if I wanted to do it like X's or keep in line with the cross and how I would even go about that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, and I did look up this granny square because I was like, the video I linked for y'all, I'm pretty sure is Spanish. I speak a little bit of Spanish, but I'm still learning. So I looked up the name because I never heard that word before in Spanish, and it turns out it's Portuguese. So this does Aveiro, I think is how you say it. I didn't look up how to say it, but I think it's Aveiro is a town in Portugal, which I guess kind of explains the Mediterranean, European, Spanish tiles vibe that I was reading from it in the first place. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the process. We blew our deadline per usual. It wouldn't be a DIY project if we didn't. And hopefully the written pattern I included for you guys is helpful. It is really meant to be used in tandem with the video, and then also the chart if that's easier as well. So I'll have both of those linked below, and I'll definitely update if I decide to frog or change anything. But for now, I think she's cute, and for 2 weeks, can't really complain. Didn't quite get to do all the fun stuff that I wanted to do with the knitted ribbing and everything, but there's more projects to come for sure. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Yay!